Welcome back, divas. It is your girl, Shade Christina, lover of all things lifestyle, faith, fashion, motherhood, you name it. I most genuinely probably love it. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe because diva, we is locked in now. We go together real bad, okay? If you are a return diva, welcome back. I have missed you. It is a new year, but I have not forgotten about you, and I appreciate you for sticking with me. You know, I've been gone for a little bit, but it's okay, I'm back, and today's video is all about taking that vision board and changing it into an action board, okay? It's 2026, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? 2025, I had an incredible year. When I look back, God really did his big one for me. And I did set a lot of goals at the beginning of the year, and God really showed out on every last one of those goals. And this year, I want to take those goals, I want to take the things that made me successful in 2025 and really apply them in 2026, but really get down to the nitty gritty, okay? We're done making pretty little vision boards and we're making action boards, okay? For me personally, in 2025, what made me really successful and give all the praise to God, not to myself or my own doing, but to the King of Kings, was that he helped me learn that I'm a person who needs to break things down. So I can't just be like, I need to drop 5 pounds by the end of the month. I need to do this. I need to save up 10 grand by the end of the month to pay for this. Like, you know, I can't do that. That is not how I operate or how I was able to be successful. So for me, it was like, if I knew that I needed to hit a savings goal, I was like, okay, I needed to do it over time. And like, one thing that I will say, I swear by this book, y'all need to go ahead and get y'all the 52-week saving challenge book. I will link it in below. I will link it in my bio for y'all. But basically, me and my husband, we took this book and every single week we put money into it. And we saved our goal, and it has different goals ranging from 2,500 to 5,000 to 10,000. And then it has like a custom sheet where you can put your own. But I will say, having that physical book and being able to put money in it and not just like putting it into a savings account, because then you take it out, you have to do the little $20 here, you keep dibbling dabbling in that savings that you have access to, versus like the physical book was just so much better for us. So that was one of our big goals, was to complete the 52-week savings challenge, and we did, and we were so proud of ourselves. And I realized that I also did that with other goals in my life, and that is what really helped me like have an amazing 2025. So one of my fitness goals was like to get back to like pre-baby weight, okay? Pre-baby weight was like 180, 175-ish, and I did that over time. So I realized like in the beginning of the year, I needed to focus on cardio. Then once I got, cardio makes you lose weight a lot faster and burn fat, I lost the weight. Then I was like, okay, I need to focus on my strength training. Then I focused on, lifting weights and really building up my stamina. And then I kind of went back to like, back to cardio and then a mixture of cardio. And that's how I was able to lose. Okay, queen. I ain't gonna lie. I was probably like, I was a supermodel. I was big. I was 2 something, but now I'm down to 180 and I am like so proud of myself. And I realized it's because me and God sat down and made a plan at the beginning of the year. And we was like, you know what? We cutting out this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna try this workout plan, we're gonna try this regimen. And it's not to say that like I was always consistent, but I did learn that like I had to learn to pivot when things were like getting a little too hard or not going for me. Hold on, guys, it's my husband. Hey, baby, what's up? My bad, divas, I'm back. But like I was saying, all the things that allowed me to be successful in 2025 was learning that I had to do things over time instead of trying to rush to do things. And that's how I was able to hit my goals. And I'm gonna take that same method and apply it in 2026, but I'm just gonna get real specific. I'm going to get down to the minute details that I didn't think mattered, but they're gonna matter. And that's what I want you to do as well. And we're gonna take that little vision board that we all do in the beginning of the year with all these random goals, and we are going to get as specific, concise, detailed. Every little thing that you want to accomplish, we are going to lay it out over the course of the year, and we're going to turn that vision board into an action board. Now, first things first, in order to have a successful action board, we need to start with our reflection, okay? We need to reflect on all the things that we did in 2025 and the things that worked and what didn't work and what we want to improve on and what we can, take lessons from. So when I started my action board, I took the time to sit down and write out what I did and what worked and what I was so proud of and things and areas that I could use a little help. I also took the time to sit down with ChatGPT and give me some prompts so that I could really take this moment and reflect. And when you're reflecting, it's easy to just like jot down and scribble down a bunch of things, but I want you to write down the areas of your life that you had goals for 2025 and reflect in each area. Don't try to just give me like a little overview, like, oh yeah, I was successful because I did this and I traveled here and I did. Go by like my finances. I was successful in this area because I did this and I lacked in that area because I did this. I was successful in my fitness goals because I did this and I lacked because I did not do this. You know, write down each pillar and really do a deep reflection on each of those and try to get as detailed and as specific as you can, because you want to do this because it's going to let you know what it is that you did that you can apply to 2026 and what it is that you did not do that you want to now try to apply and find a way or a different method that is going to work. So here are the 3 questions that I asked ChatGPT. 1 was, what worked because I was consistent, not lucky? 2, what didn't work, and was it a strategy problem or a discipline problem? You know what I mean, girls. And number 3, what did I need to stop carrying in 2026 that no longer aligns with where I am going? It is so important that we know our why and that we know what it is we're doing and why we're doing it, because it's going to help us get to our goal. So those are the 3 reflection questions that I want you to really take a deep dive into each pillar of your life that you want to set goals for 2026. Now, once you've done that, we can start doing the fun stuff. We can finally start planning our 2026. Now, before you do that, I want you to have some structure to this. I don't want you to just go and be like, I want to just have a 2026 goals and then just write out all your goals. I want you to get specific. This is where it's going to take some time and some detail and a little bit of patience. Your action board is not going to be done in a matter of 30 minutes to an hour. It's going to take you at least 3 days to a week. I took about a week to do mine, and that's why it's probably, today is January 3rd or 4th, and I just finished it this morning, and I started mine probably right after Christmas. Like, I've been writing down little things here and there that I wanted to do, but it wasn't until like after Christmas I was like, okay, let me try to like really start doing this so that I can have this ready to go. And it's okay that you take your time, because this is about action, not just vision, or vision without a purpose, or vision without a direction. This is about action with direction and clarity, and that's what we want to focus on. So now that we know we're in 2026 and we're going to start working on our goals, it's important that you define your pillars. So for me, I defined, I want to say 6 pillars maybe, but my pillars were faith, my health and fitness, my family and marriage, relationships in general, so like, you know, friendships, and then I did my career, and I also focused on my content creation journey. So those were my pillars, and I want you to take the moment and just define whatever your pillars are, okay? Choose 5 to 6, but as many pillars as you need. Try to get specific, because this is where we're going to lay out the goals under each pillar. So once you have your pillars, which is really fun, I took the time to start going through the pillars and writing out what goals I wanted to hit in each of those pillars. So under faith, I said I wanted to host another church group. I also wanted to continue serving, and I wanted to serve at a Catalyst event at my church. So Catalyst is like where we have this big worship and praise evening, and the room is just so powerful and moving, and I want to be able to help capture that and tell that story. So I wanted to serve on one of those days. And another one of my goals was to actually read the entire Bible this year. I know that sounds crazy, but I want to do that. And one of the things I did get that I pray helps me achieve that goal is the Spiral Bible, and it breaks the Bible down into 53 weeks, I think. And I'm really excited for it to come. I think it's coming today, so I'm actually really happy. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try to just get more into my word, because yes, I try to read my Bible daily, and I try to write in my prayer journal daily, but I want to read the whole Bible, because I feel like the last couple years I've gotten like glimpse of it, and I've read certain books and I've read other, but I want to read the whole thing. I want to know everything that's going on in that thing. So that is one of my faith goals. And I'm really excited to help to accomplish that this year. But aside from my faith goals, I wrote down my finance goals, and then I wrote down fitness, career, family and home, and content creation. One of my goals for my family is to be able to build our forever home. do. And I'm speaking it into existence, okay? Because it's going to happen for us. I know it. I know that is going to happen to us because I know what my God has promised me, and it is up to me to follow his word because there's no other option, okay? So that is one of our goals, and in order for us to hit that goal, I wrote out everything that we need to do in order to hit that goal. So once we've defined our pillars and we have wrote out all of our goals as detailed as we can, what I also did was I wrote by the goal what I needed to do by the end of each quarter in order to hit that goal. So for example, I said that let me give you the example of we want to build our forever home. So I said by the end of quarter 1, I need to have finalized my dream home folders of must-haves and nice-to-haves. And I should have finished researching realtors who kind of specialize in working with people who are building homes and narrow down a list of like 1 to 5 people, just doing, intro calls, getting to know them. And that is what I need to finish by the end of quarter 1. And then I also build out what it is I need to do by quarter 2. Now I know our home won't be built. Well, who knows? It may be built this year, but I kind of gave myself the overall timeline of a year to really sit down and do the nitty-gritty work that it's going to take us to build our home. So that includes building up our savings, finding the right builder, finding a piece of land, finding a realtor, finalizing all those minute details, finalizing a plan for the home, like the blueprint, like the thing the architect is gonna need, like doing all of those things. So I did that. So I encourage you that after you've written your pillars, go through and write what it is you need to do by each quarter. And for me personally, I like that I wrote mine down. Some people are like, a digital girly. I'm not mad at that. For me, queens, I took this book and I got some pen to paper and I wrote down what it is I needed to do for each pillar and when I needed to do it by. And I also made it sure that it was realistic for me. So another one of my goals for my finances was to save a certain amount by Q4. And in order for me to do that, I had to go through and say that if I want to have this done by Q4, I need to go in and say when I need to have done by Q1, by Q2, by Q3 to hit that goal in Q4. You see what I'm saying, divas? We're taking our goals and we are getting ultra specific, ultra detailed, and getting down to the very minute details. And it's so important that we take the time to break down our goals into quarters because it's how we avoid burnout. It is how we can stay motivated and how we can adjust. So if I didn't hit my goals at the end of Q1, it's like, okay, what didn't I hit? Why didn't I hit it? And how can I reflect on that and change so that I can make sure that I hit it for Q2? And how do I kind of pivot and adjust, okay? So just because you didn't hit something in Q1 doesn't mean you give up on that goal. You just need to pivot, readjust, and realign, and you will be okay, divas, okay? This is not about perfection. It is about clarity and taking the time to do what it is we need to do so that we are having the most successful 2026, the most successful year of our lives, okay? So now, queens, it's getting fun now because now we know what it is our goals are and what we need to do by the end of each quarter. And me, I'm a very visual person. So once I did that, and I'll reiterate it for you guys in case you guys got lost, we reflected. We took the time to write down all of our reflections for each of the pillars of our life. We then took that and we started working on our overall yearly goals for 2026. And as we wrote out our goals under each pillar, we tried to be a little specific on when we needed to complete them and write out each quarter that we needed to have these things done. So now that you've done that, we are creating the action part of it now. So I'm very visual. I went through and again, I had to write things out first just so I can see how they fit into my life and if this is realistic for me. We want goals that are realistic that we can achieve and not something that is gonna be unattainable. We're gonna stress out, we're not gonna do it, and then we're gonna give up midway through the year and be like, I'll try again next year. That's not what we want, queen, okay? So once I wrote out, and I'll show you guys, because I'm a writer, okay? I will write some things down. But here's all of my goals and then all the pillars, and then I wrote down the quarters. But then I got another piece of paper and I put goal achieved at the top, and then I just wrote Q1. And then for all of the pillars of my life, I went through and I wrote down all of the things that I need to do in order to accomplish my goal by the end of the year. Now, this seems like a lot, and this is the part that takes time because you want to be as specific and as detailed as you possibly can. So another one of my goals was to fast once a month, and I wanted to fast from like a Monday to Friday. And in order for me to do that, I am someone who needs structure and clarity. So I went through each quarter and I wrote one of the goals was fast once a month, and I wrote out the dates of each month that I'm going to fast. I feel like for me, I am someone that when I know I have something to do, I do it. I don't play around. I don't pussyfoot. I'm like, all right, the weekend of 4/13 through 4/17, I'm fasting. The week of May 4th through May 8th, I'm fasting. The week of 6/8 through 6/12, I'm fasting. So I tried to be as specific as I possibly can. Even though I'm already in the quarter, I gotta be specific with the dates. So another one of my things was I said that I wanted to host my family over once a quarter to do like a game night or something. So I went through each quarter and I figured out what weekend works best for me and JJ to host people, and I put it on there. So for quarter one, it's gonna happen in February. For quarter two, it's gonna happen in, I think I did March. April. Then for quarter four and so, I added in those dates. So again, being very specific. I wanted to do a staycation once a quarter with my husband because I realized we have so many cool things around us and we don't like go and explore them a lot. So I was like, you know what? I wanna do a staycation once a quarter, and I picked out the weeks that we're gonna do it. So like for us, for quarter one, it's gonna happen this month in January because our anniversary is coming up. And I was like, what better time to do it than now? So that is what I did to really break down these goals so that I can stay on track and I can monitor my success and see what it is that I'm doing and what's working for me and what it is I need to pivot, readjust, or just change completely or try a different strategy when it comes to trying to hit that certain goal. So I encourage you, my divas, to get out some pen and paper, okay? Write out those pillars and then write out all of the goals and just get specific as you can. If you didn't already get specific, which is why it really helps when you're first writing out the overall ones to kind of put when you want to accomplish each goal, like the quarter, then when you get to doing this part, it's just a matter of like, okay, I know that under finances, I said I want to have this amount saved by the end of the year. Let me just talk to ChatGPT, break it down. What I need to have done by Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. I already know that I set a fitness goal of weighing 175 and having 6-packs, queens. And being able to do a pull-up unassisted. I said, ChatGPT, what do we need to do in each quarter to hit that goal? ChatGPT can be your friend. Don't abuse her, but if you are still like, once you've laid out your overall goals and you're like, well, how more specific do I get? Ask ChatGPT. She was like, okay, by the end of March, you need to be doing an assisted pull-up at, I think, you put the little weight in. Like right now I'm at 100. She was like, you need to be at like 70. So I'm like, slowly decreasing the weight so that I can do an unassisted pull-up. I need to be doing abs 3 times a week so that for 15 minutes so that baby I can have some abs, okay? And also to do that, I need to I need to change my diet. I need to do a little meal prepping. So being specific and being okay with being specific, because then it allows us to see, all right, like I know that's gonna work for me, or maybe I don't think that's gonna work for me, queen, or maybe I need to, try something a little different. It gives you the flexibility to know what's going on in your life and how you can best be successful in that area. Now, in addition to me being a visual girly, I am a very science-backed girly, okay? And if you're like me, I need to know why I'm doing things because they work. I don't need to know just like, oh, somebody said to do, no. I need the science on why it works, queen. So first things first, doing your goals like this works because, here we go, it reduces cognitive overload and gives you clarity. Your brain performs better when it knows exactly what to focus on. So if I know that for my family and home goals for quarter one, this is what I need to focus on, I'm gonna focus on that and I'm gonna get that done. So then I can focus on quarter two and how I'm gonna, continue achieving those goals, okay? Number 2, chunking goals increases follow through. Breaking goals into quarters makes them psychologically achievable. I can't tell you how many times I'll set like this big astronomical goal and not have a plan to how I'm going to get there. I'm just like, that was a little crazy, Sade. Like, you got to sit down and really try to be a little more strategic in how you want to achieve your goals and what your goals are. Now, I'm not saying, limit yourself, because baby, when you got God on your side, anything is possible. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave that there. Anything is possible, but sometimes you just gotta, sit down and be like, you know what? I know what I need to do for me, and I'm gonna go from there. Okay. Number 3, written goals activate commitment bias. When you write things down, you are more likely to act on them. So that's why I'm saying it's good sometimes to get on that computer and get the click clacking and but sometimes, baby, you need pen and paper, okay? I went and bought me, so I always use this planner. It is the Happy Planner, and it is completely customizable. And I love it because I'm someone who, I can't just do a little regular planner with to-do list. I need to be able to control everything in my planner. And for me, I do the Happy Planner because I can add in, obviously, like my monthly stuff. And then I can also add in like note paper. I can add in sheets to help me track my content and like my projects and ideas, my prayers, and also my finances. And I love this planner because it's literally completely customizable and you can tailor it to whatever you need. Now, the Happy Planner can get a little busy, but another great alternative to the Happy Planner is the cloth and paper planner. Now, I actually did order some stuff from the cloth and paper planner company because I realized I got this cover in The Life of a Planner Girl. It's super cute, but it's a little busy, okay? I'm 30. I like this a lot, but it's just a little too busy. So I'm probably gonna give this to my little sister. And like the cloth and paper is the same exact thing. It's a customizable planner. It's just more for like the aesthetically pleasing girls. It's like beige, red, black, white, brown, like, that kind of thing. So definitely recommend getting you an amazing planner and somewhere that you can jot notes down. I'm the type that I don't like to have too many like notebooks with me because when I go to work, I just bring my laptop, my planner, maybe my camera. I don't want them to have a bunch of baggage. So it's important for me to have a planner that I have my whole life in. So also I'm not flipping through multiple books trying to find things. Like, no, like once I'm writing out my schedule for the week, I can look back and say, okay, what are my goals for Q1? Like, let me see what I like, pick one thing from each pillar and like seeing if I can accomplish, like what I can put in this week to accomplish. So writing it out, I'm more likely to commit to it. When I just do it on a daily basis, I'm like, wash laundry, fold laundry, grocery shop. I am more likely to do it versus if I just take a mental note because maybe once a life get to life and I forget stuff, okay? And I don't want that to happen to you in 2026. So get the paper, get the pen, get the writing. And also something about a planner that just makes me really happy. So like, and they're fun. They're fun. You can make them however, and then it just gets me inspired to really write out my goals and commit to them. So. And I like to check things off. It's something about the satisfaction of like, check, done, boop, did that. So write it out because you're more likely to commit to it, okay? And then number 4, specific actions versus vague intentions. Work on my health doesn't move the needle. Working out 3 times in Q1 does. So again, if I know that my fitness goal is to be able to do a pull-up by myself, I know what I need to be doing by the end of Q1 or on a daily basis to get there. So again, we are moving with intention, not just with roo-rah, riff-raff words, okay? None of that. We're very specific on what we're trying to accomplish here, okay? Now that we have written out all of our pillars and we have written out all of our goals under each pillar, and we know what it is we need to do in each quarter to be successful, to have the most successful year of our lives, it's the fun part. It's the fun part. Everybody needs a vision. Like, now that you've done the action board part, it's time to make it visual, okay? It is time to get in Canva and put all of that into a pretty little thing that you're going to put on the back of your screen. Back screen, you're gonna put on your screensaver. You know what I meant, queens. But you are going to now take this and you're gonna take your time and you're going to get in Canva and just type in vision board. And what I did, I just typed in vision board and then I just kind of got an outline of what it was that I needed it to like, where I needed things to be placed. And then I went from there and baby, I went to town on that vision board, action board from the back of my phone. I'm getting tongue tied because this made me really happy. I'm actually excited that I finished it today. today, so just bear with me, guys. But you want to do that because for me, like I said, I'm a visual person. So in addition to being able to look at my goals on paper by quarter, now it's time to have like something on my phone that I know I'm going to look at every single day, no matter what, and look and say, okay, you know what? This is your why. This is why you're doing it. This is your vision. These are the actions you need to take to get there. And I need to see it every day so that I'm like constantly reminded of why I am fighting, why I am doing the things I'm doing, why I'm sacrificing in this moment, because I am doing it for the bigger picture. You got to know your why. You got to know the bigger picture. So I will show you my little vision board. We can call it a vision board, action board, but do the action first, then the vision, okay? You know what I'm saying, queens? But I did mine. It has taken me literally, this is my baby, okay? I'm even scared to show y'all my business because this is my baby. I don't, one second. Look, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up, queens. All right, queens. I'm like really excited to show y'all this because this took me some time. I'm not gonna lie. I have been working on this for like a week, and this is my honest, like, you know, vision board. So I'm scared because this is what I'm trying to do in 2026. But I'll show y'all a little piece of her because she fire, I ain't gonna lie. But I have my goals, and the word of the year is dominion, which means we're going to dominate every aspect of our lives, okay? We're going to dominate all that God has set out for us to accomplish, and we're going to be successful. So I have to remind myself of that. I have my home goals. I have my YouTube and camera goals. I have, you know, my church group hostings, all of the things that I want to do in 2026 in a visual now, in a picture visual on my phone, on my screensaver that I can see daily. I'm also probably going to print it out and put it on the cover of my planner because I got a new cover, and the cover is like acrylic. So I want to be able to see it on a daily basis so that I know what it is I'm working for and I know my why. Now, queens, it is time to wrap this video up because it is getting long, but I want you to remember that, you know, this action board is about clarity and focusing on what it is you need to do and the actions you need to take so that you are successful in 2026. Yes, the vision board that you do at the beginning of the year is pretty and it looks good and it's aesthetically pleasing and it makes you happy to see like perfume on it and travel and passports in a bunch. But I want you to now try your action board first, lay it out because it's going to tell you what you need to do. It creates momentum, it builds discipline, and it produces results. And I want you to take that and then apply it to something visual that you can see on a daily basis. But don't forget your action plan and breaking it down by quarters and being specific and as detailed as you possibly can, because that is how we're going to be successful in 2026. And I want you to also, once you have written out these beautiful goals, I want you to sit down with God and pray over them because you cannot do anything without his blessing and having his say. Hi, Mama, you back? I'm almost done. I need 20 seconds. My bad, divas. My husband walked in. But once you have finished your action board and you made you something visual that you can put on your screensaver, I want you to take the time and sit down and pray with God over these goals, okay? Because you cannot do anything without him. And really, you should be praying before you start, but pray before you start as well. And then once you are done, pray over them as well and pray that God leads you in the direction that he wants you to go in, that you have his favor and his blessing and his protection, and you are doing all things through him. There's actually a quote that I put on my vision board because I feel like this is what I need to live by for 2026. And I literally wrote, commit your activities to the Lord and your plans will be established. So I still have to say, queens, you know, pray over your goals, ask God for guidance, and you will be successful. You're going to have an amazing year. And comment below and let me know what are your pillars that you're focusing on for Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 for the whole year and how it is you're going to get there. And if you guys need me to drop my vision board template in the bio or down below for you, let me know. And I will see you guys on the next video. Toodles, divas.